Welcome back to another episode of the K-Dog and Fish Show. I am Fish.
K-Dog.
We are very blessed to have a very special guest today. A very well-known actor, amazing classic movies. Don't Tell Mom, The Babysitter's Dead, Adventures in Babysitting, My Favorite Toy Soldiers, and more. Please welcome to the show, Keith Coogan.
How the heck did you just do the lasers and smoke behind me? That was
nice.
I was impressed.
That's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on this show where we are. It's called Fan Out with K-Dog and Fish, where we fan out with celebrities, talk about fun stuff, pop culture, and just appreciate you being on the show. Appreciate it very much.
All right.
So if we back this up, you got your start in commercials and TV shows as a kid, and some like crazy good shows: Love Boat, The Waltons, Laverne and Shirley, Fantasy Island, Little House on the Prairie, Mork and Mindy.
Like, what is that? That's crazy.
Just to name a few. What was that experience like as a kid?
Bunch of pilots, bunch of 6-episode series. I did a pilot for Normal Ray, the half-hour sitcom. What? TV. Dude, I was in Super Train, the 1979 series that almost bankrupted NBC. Yeah, very, very fun. I was watching these shows. All the adults you're working with, and sometimes other kids,
Yeah.
are, they're all career actors, and everyone's hustling to get in and stay in the business. You're lucky you get a job. And you got it on a series that's been going, and it's been going. You have a guest appearance on a series. You're Tuesday. Hey, what's your name? What day is it? Tuesday. My name's Tuesday. You're a day player. You come in maybe on some of them like a co-star or a guest lead. You get to like work every day of the episode and stuff. And I had to work my way up that. So my first one was Chips.
Eric Estrada, baby.
I had no lines, and it was first season. And it was a family that leaves the baby at the picnic thing, and the mom thinks the dad has it, and the dad thinks the mom has it, and they drive away and leave the baby there. So I'm some neighbor kid going with them, like on a camping trip. There's like 5 kids in the thing, and I start hamming it up. I'm like, they're like, could you guys like kind of argue a little bit? And so I'm just like drilling into the other kids. They're like, oh, he's funny. Give him Stevie's lines. Yeah, they're taking lines from the other kids and giving it to me. I just owned the episode, and I was like, cool. I wound up doing an episode a few seasons in with Jenner. There was no Paunch because he was fighting for money, so it was Jenner and John.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then last season, there was no John. It was only Paunch, and it was the Brat Patrol and Return of the Brat Patrol. And I did the last episode of Chips ever. So, and I'd watch Chips. That's the thing about all these shows that I watched. Fantasy Island. I watched, when Knight Rider hadn't aired, I was in the 3rd episode. So we shot it before the pilot aired.
Yeah. That's cool. You're a fan of these shows, and then you're on these shows.
Yeah.
It's got to be surreal.
That's crazy. That's crazy, right? Like,
and then you go, it's a backdrop. Oh, that you just shoot. Love Boat's you don't go on a boat. Oh, it's stage 20 at 20th Century Fox? Really?
Yeah.
Here's the dog. The dog's like, dude, I've had it. Can I retire?
Yeah.
The trained animals are like so lethargic because there's nothing new for them to do. It's the same thing. They're 7 years older they were than when the show started. I mean, I think even young, I definitely paid attention. How a set worked, who's in charge, what's going on, how do they make their day? And I did a lot of TV. Took me years before I got my first movie, and I saw the rhythms of the set. And they shoot a big dumb wide shot. So technically, once you've gotten a take of the big wide master, you've covered the scene for insurance purposes for the completion bond company. They go, okay, they got it covered, and I go, well, you got about 45 more minutes. And then they go, great, let's do this side, let's do this side, and then they move on. And I was like, oh, I'm seeing what's going on, and the adults, since I was raised in a family of performers, they had zero respect for theatricals. They're like, actors are all absolutely horrible people. They're broken people. They're carnies. They're circus folks. And steal the scene first before they steal it from you. I'm very aggressive. And my grandfather taught me how to steal a scene without even being in it. He goes, if you're ever on stage and you're smoking, and because he did plays where he'd smoke on stage, he goes, you don't put it out. When you make your exit, just rest it on the side of the table lit, off the edge, and then leave. The audience is just staring at that cigarette. And the next actor has to enter and deal with it, pick it up, put it out, ignore it, whatever. It's like, brilliant. He didn't teach me bits or gags. He would teach me to respect the process, show up on time, be prepared, shut up. Nobody wants to hear from a kid unless you really see something. If you like, hey, I'm putting something together, and you stand in the middle of the room, raise your hand, be loud. Hey, you're painting yourself into a corner. You're not going to be able to get her coverage because you're going to back into that wall. God, kid's right. Oh, shit, let's go to lunch. They called me 8 going on 40. And now I'm 54 going on 8.
Now you're, just for our audience sake, you're referencing your grandfather, Jackie Coogan, who is one of the first ever child stars in Chaplin's The Kid. I think more for people like our age.
Yeah.
I remember him as Uncle Fester on the original Addams Family TV show.
Yeah, that's what I remember too. Yeah.
And he's the most hated person on the Brady Bunch because he's the guy in the neck brace in court when they make Cindy lie about whether Carol turned around.
Nice.
And Pinky's like, I hated your grandfather.
Is that what kind of got you inspired to get into the business?
Nope.
Your grandpa?
Nope.
No.
All right.
So what made you want to get into it?
No idea my family was in show business. My mother was 15 and pregnant, Catholic schoolgirl runaway. And my grandparents have like a plaque on the pew in Palm Springs, the Liberace Church. They're very Catholic, and church Sundays and Easter and Christmas and Mass and all that crap. And so she, as a hippie, when she ran away, she turned 16 and I came a month later. Very young mom. Mm-hmm. And she hitchhiking all over this. I was born in 1970. I was conceived while the men were on the moon. The summer of love. And
Woodstock.
Yeah. Well, they weren't those kind of hippies. They were more Altamont, bikers and speed and LSD. My dad dealt window pane, and my mom was a carny and would shortchange people. And my dad ran the tilt-a-whirl. And said, when you're on the rides and like you have a really fun ride operator who spins you extra and I'll hang you upside down and shake. Everyone loves it. Oh, we love him. That's great. He's shaking you loose because one of their perks is at the end of the night, whoever is the ride operator gets to go onto the ride and pick up all the change and cash. That's hilarious. So I'm learning all these little tricks, how to make free phone calls, hack parking meters, break into houses. She's like, I locked the keys out of the house. Go climb into the upstairs bathroom window. Okay. How to break into cars, lock the keys out of the car. Let's get a coat hanger. Okay, here, I'll show you how to do it. So I knew how all sorts of really bad stuff as a kid. So I'm 5 and I'm watching TV. I'm watching Sesame Street, Electric Company, something. Romper Room. Oh, my mom said it was Romper Room.
Classic.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with Romper Room. Yeah.
And she's walking by and she hears me say, I want to be on TV. So she never talked about my grandfather being in movies. I had no idea. We're living on welfare up in Sacramento, near American River College, and it was very, very far from Hollywood. So she goes, "Oh my God! I mean, it's got to be genetic. It's got to be in the DNA. How does out of nowhere, skips a generation?" So she had tried acting when she was 10. And my mom does not take direction. She won't listen to anybody. So she was doing like a Bosco commercial. And in the middle of the commercial, she's like, oh, I like Hershey better. So there was no,
You're out of here.
But she took me to her kid agent, Don Schwartz, on Sunset Boulevard. And, he handles kids. And I went in and I had learned to read at 3. And so when, well, let's give him a page of text. Do you need a minute? And I'm like, got it. And spit out this, monologue. He's like, oh my God, this is great. Can't wait to get him out. I can't wait to tell people I got Jackie Coogan's grandson, because my mom's working whatever she can when they're in the office.
Yeah.
And she goes, no. He's not going to use the Coogan name. He's going to go under his birth name. Her married name was Mitchell. Mm-hmm. So he goes, why would you hamstring me like that? Why would you, And she goes, well, there's nothing worse for an actor than not knowing why they got cast in a role. And Nepo Baby, yes, I am, but I did 10 years of television as Keith Mitchell before I changed it to Coogan for...
I actually saw that in your earlier credits, and I was going to ask you about that. So I saw your...
It also helped make a transition from a kid TV actor, because I had auditioned for E.T., Goonies, Gremlins, Stand By Me, Christmas Story, Lucas, The Toy, Toy Story. Yeah. I mean, not Toy Story, Christmas Story. I'd auditioned for all these films, but I wasn't booking, and they kept saying he's too TV. Hammy and gimmicky. And so, I learned it from Uncle Fester. Yeah. And they're Broadway. They're very theater folk, big stuff. And film, you think it, and it picks it up. TV is kind of full body, but film is big close-up. So my grandfather passed in 1984, and kind of didn't really work for a year. It really hit the family hard. My mom became head of the whole kind of household, took on a lot, and started working in. I got on Silver Spoons, and I was like, this is great. I love it. And it had Amy Dolenz and Alfonso Ribeiro, Billy Jane, Rick, and very fun. I didn't ride the train. Don't ask. But I played the video game. I played the video games.
Yeah.
That was my favorite
games
part.
had the sound turned off, so it wouldn't bother filming anywhere, but still. So then when I got Adventures of Babysitting, actually I hadn't changed my name yet. We'd done Silver Spoons, and it was under Keith Mitchell, and maybe even Growing Pains. And when I got Adventures of Babysitting, I said, you know what, for film, I want to be credited as Keith Coogan, honor my grandfather and the whole deal. And it also helped make a break between the kid and the young adult, the adolescent. I'm a teenager now. So that's why you'll see all Keith Mitchell before 86 and all Keith Coogan 86 forward.
Gotcha. Yeah, Adventures was in 87, or when it was released. We
shot it in January, February, March of 87, and it was released in July. I mean, they did post and distribution in 3 months.
Wow. And that was Christopher Columbus's first movie as a director.
Yep.
Which I didn't...
That's crazy. I didn't know that either. Yeah.
It's there's a funny moment where I think it's the tow truck driver. He's rushing to his house to find his wife is cheating on him. And he hits the jockey on the lawn, which falls over, which Columbus used again in Home Alone.
So Chris said that was to honor John Landis, because that bit is in Animal House.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Okay.
So then he ripped it off. He put it in that. He put it later in Home Alone. I think they used it again in, Weird Science, maybe? No. It's in Weird Science?
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be in Weird Science. Anyway, that's a Chris Columbus trope that he stuck in there.
And some of it was shot in Toronto, which is near
Most
us.
of it. Dude, we shot 2 months in Toronto, 2 weeks in Chicago, and then a week in LA for special effects.
And what was your experience like? This is your first,
this is the first movie, right?
Big, an arc. So you go over the script and you kind of know how you left the last scene, because you're shooting out of order. So you're not shooting in sequence. You're like, we're shooting the end scene in the first week. We shot the end scene. We did have rehearsals, 2 weeks rehearsals, which were really key in making it natural and improvising and putting it into the script and rewriting. I came up with the line, could you just drop us off at a mall? And Calvin Lovell goes, where do you think we're at? Boise, Idaho?
Yeah.
And Calvin is so smart. I later had researched and found out the first mall in the United States of America was in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So Adventures was literally an adventure, because it was the effects were just a little on the building, like Sarah outside the building.
Yeah.
And we never set foot in that building. They took process plate shots, and the exterior was along what is it? What's the street near Eaton Center and world's biggest? It goes along and very
Young
Street.
Yeah,
Young Street.
Young. So the toy store, all that stuff. I think the hotel we were staying at was the French restaurant. And so we were climbing roofs and running through the streets, and spent about 2 weeks in doing car interiors, interior station wagon, interior tow truck, interior Cadillac, back in the station wagon. It was tedious, but because you have no director in the car, you have nobody in the car but the cast, and you turn on the Nagra, and they have strapped the camera or two to the car, and they're in a shot maker towing you, and a couple of lights, and they roll camera, they hop in the truck, and they just take off, and you just do the scene over and over and over again until the film runs out.
All right.
And then how do you get direct? So they're listening, of course. And remember, this is in this day when we use this thing called film.
Yeah.
There's no video display. There's no tap. There's no video village. There's no way to say, did you get it? You look at Rick Waite, who's a great DP, and he goes, yeah, I think I got it. You got to wait till dailies a day or two later to watch this stuff. It's just fascinating. We only did 2 or 3 takes. As a matter of fact, when we got to 4, it was kind of an alarm bell. What's the problem if we're getting to take 4? And is it technical? Is it performance and everything? And so we called take 4 Thor. So you go like take 1, and then you go 2 is up, and 3 is up, and then Thor is up. When Thor was up, that's going to be in the movie when Thor is up. It was cool.
Nice. But also a reference to the girl that played your sister was obsessed with Thor.
No, true. Exactly. That's why, because we were on the set obsessed with Thor 2. It was, throughout the movie, we had to do continuity with the backpack, the hammer, the skates, the helmet, and they screwed up. What's your PG rating on this show?
Oh, you can say whatever you want.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
They f***ed up. So it was supposed to be a scene where she leaves the backpack in the hero in the Jeep from the frat party that rescues us. We shot a scene that took place after that, and she had the backpack. They didn't notice until dailies. We're watching dailies, and Sue Richards, the script writer, goes, oh, shit. Guys, up. And they're like, well, what do we do? And she goes, well, how about she loses something out of the backpack? And they came up with the skate idea because she doesn't use them in the movie later. So they pulled that out of their ass and said it's a skate. And so then they shot the scene of him walking up with the skate. Here it is, and it has her name and address written on the skate. Nice. And her name is spelled different on the skate than in the end credits. One, it's Sara, and I think in the credits it's Sarah with an A, and in the skate it's with an H.
That's awesome. Really funny watching that movie so many times as a kid in early teens, watching it as an adult and realizing Thor was Vincent D'Onofrio. Like, that is such a mind-blowing thing that watching the movie again as an adult, that you wouldn't realize or know who Vincent D'Onofrio was back then. And then I'm like, that's Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
You would, because Full Metal Jacket came out about 2 weeks before Adventures in Babies.
Oh, did it?
That's
okay.
funny.
He finished it 6 months before we shot. So he lost all of the Full Metal Jacket weight to be Thor.
Oh, that makes sense.
He actually hadn't lost it all. He was a little pudgy, and they used makeup, airbrushing, and baby oil and lighting to make him look ripped. Camera angles. It's all movie magic. Plus, he never broke character. He's a method actor.
Yeah.
So Vincent was Dawson, and we weren't sure if he thought he was Thor or not, because he wouldn't break and he wouldn't. So when he goes, she goes, take your helmet. It's your special helmet. You forgot it. And he goes, nah, keep it, kid. I got one at home. He's just so charming. That's the heart of the movie. That moment with Thor is the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
Even in the city with all these crazy people, there's still someone who isn't totally burnt out to the core.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, though, like after Adventures in Babysitting, like, did you find it hilarious that you also landed Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead? Like, did you...
Two classic
Did you were like, I am now the babysitter guy. Like, is that me?
Well, now I do. However, when we shot it, when we did Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, that wasn't the title. So I have crew shirts and
okay.
cups from our crew screening and stuff. It was called The Real World, and it was about the working girl secret of my success kind of thing, where she's pretending to be older in the office and faking this career. And the movie was really more focused on GAW and the thing, and it had a little thing at home. So as developing the script, they developed the kids into a murder mystery of which kid killed the babysitter. Every kid had a motive. Zach's girlfriend's taken away. Melissa had to wear the dress. I don't know. Kenny, he didn't do shit, man. I think actually Kenny's room killed the babysitter, right? Come on.
Kenny's just having a good time.
Yeah, Kenny's just having a good time. So, month and a half into filming, and we get contacted. It was co-produced by MTV, HBO, Warner Brothers. And MTV said, "Oh, we're doing this reality show called The Real World."
Yeah, that's what.
And we said, "What's the reality the show?" And they said, "Don't worry about that. We'll tell you later." But Warner Brothers said we went to marketing teams, and they had a list of 100 titles, and we have chosen, and the one that scored best with the kid test groups was "Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead." And I'm standing at craft service just outside outside the kitchen, and I'm full hair and makeup with the wig and the jacket. It's the middle of summer. It's hot. And I go, "Are you kidding me? Don't." I go, I'm roped into a second one because I did not know that when I signed up to do the movie. And then the movie was released. Yeah. Everyone hated it. The writer hated it. The writers hated it. We're all like, "Are you kidding me? It's a really long title. No one will, spell it the same or use the right apostrophes in the right places." It just seemed ridiculous. And now I realize it's the only thing the movie could have been called. It sets the tone. Yeah. It's camp. It also sets up the biggest brick joke in history, where we do the babysitter and we wrap up her plot by Act 1. And we forget about her until the mom goes, "Well, where's the babysitter?" And even the audience goes, "Oh my God, we forgot about her." Yeah. So that was the only thing the writers said that they couldn't change. They go, "You can change anything else in the script. Give us notes. We'll write it up. We'll do changes overnight. But we just want that one joke to stay." And it did.
I really wanted to ask you, the same year that Adventures in Babysitting came out was also one of my favorites of all time, and that was Hiding Out.
Yeah.
John Cryer. I
Did you
love
see they
that
are
movie.
Releasing a Blu-ray of Hiding
Finally.
Are they?
I'm
buying it.
It's so underrated.
Dude, that film is
underrated.
so grainy on cable. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I love that movie. It came out at just the perfect time. And just having this adults playing a high schooler to escape the mob.
Yeah.
It just had, and first time ever seeing Annabeth Gish, who I had just a massive crush on after that. But what was Hiding Out like?
It was great. I stole the script from Anthony Rapp's coffee table in his hotel room in Toronto. Actually, I was in his hotel room, and I look on the table, and I see a script that it was called Adult Education. Okay. And I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's a part. He's like a motor mouth, sex fiend, obsessed with cars." He goes, "It's just like Daryl." And I'm telling you, in the 80s, you do not do the same part back to back. You're going to be pigeonholed, typecast.
Yeah.
Today, they call that branding. My casting director, my agents, and they all, no. Every headshot should be one character type. Don't play. You can't be a nerd and a jock and a tough guy and a thing. I go, "I'm a character actor."
Yeah.
What are you talking about? There's hair. I mean, look at Malkovich in The Line of Fire. Come on.
Yeah.
He made his own hair pieces from that because he made his own pieces for theater. So Malkovich made his own hair pieces for that. Jesus Christ. So back to Hiding Out. I call my agent. "Hey, Adult Education, what's going on?" So Anthony passed. And I go, "Do you mind if I try out for Patrick, whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, go for it." So we shot 2 months in Toronto, but we actually, before finishing the movie, we swung through New York, did a few days of press, went to Serendipity 3 and took pictures and did interviews and stuff. And while I was there, I went in and read for Hiding Out in front of the director, the producers and stuff. And I was really full of myself. So I walk in and I hold up the script and I say, "Kids don't talk like this." The dialogue is, I mean, they just don't talk like this today. And
Yeah.
they go, "Oh, great. This is Marty. He's one of the producers. He's also the writer. You could talk to him." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I just blew it." So they put me up against a backdrop just like this, and like a full shot, full body shot. And I read the bathroom scene. On this side there's homo, on this side there's hetero, and here's me. Wait the over here. And boy, is that cringe. We watched a bit of it the other night, and I was like, what was with the homophobia in like Monster Squad, Adventures in Babysitting, Hiding Out?
It was the 80s.
It was the 80s. That's what. That's what it's about.
Oh man, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So funny story. Just referencing Hiding Out. This is last year. It was during the strike, and my brother was in LA, and he was on the Sony studio tour.
Yeah, what's his name?
Neil.
What's his last name?
Neil. And all he shouted out was Keith Coogan. And then you were super nice about it, him and his family, and he just talked to you about Hiding Out for like 5-10 minutes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Small world,
perfect.
that's my
God,
brother.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
We're a complete family of movie heads. We're actually first cousins, so we're like just movie heads. That's all we do, So yeah.
I see your three amigos behind you.
Oh yeah, I hang around with three amigos over there.
Oh man,
yeah.
That's good stuff.
But I had to tell you that story because he was super excited to meet you, and he's one of like me. Just I love Hiding Out. It's. I'm so glad they're releasing it on Blu-ray. That's awesome.
That'll be fine. I hope all the music cues stay, because sometimes rights can pass or whatever.
Yeah,
because the soundtrack had 3 top 10 songs in it: "Pretty Poison," "Catch Me I'm Falling," Roy Orbison introducing on "Crying" with Katie Lang. That's her debut. Her debut was a music video for Hiding Out.
Yeah.
And then it also had a Boy George song that was in top 10. The opening credits when he's walking down the streets in Boston and stuff. And I get that bitchin' billing because it goes John Cryer is Hiding Out. Like it goes John Cryer and then is Hiding Out, and then it goes starring Keith Coogan. I'm like, that's great billing.
Yeah, nice.
That was super fun. John was a great big brother, uncle, cousin, or whatever, and real leader. Always there first, last to leave. I didn't know he kind of put the whole movie together, and I just like, how does he have time to learn his lines and nail it?
Yeah.
And when you're the lead, it's hard because you can't steal a scene if you're in every scene. Being a supporting player is about kind of getting in there, giving some punches to the main character, lots of exposition, fast, set up the universe. We're in high school, for Christ's sakes. Think humiliation, despair, and like the rules set. And also, my favorite scene, I think, not my favorite scene, but one that I really loved the last time we watched it, was the cafeteria introduction to the cliques. I'm like, come on, I'm like, stick a banana in his back, and then I go, well, this is this. Sit over here. That's that clique. There's Clinton. Man, I wish I could walk like that. I love Patrick. He was so thirsty to fit in. He was so thirsty to get his driver's license. I love that he had a B plot that was relatable to so many 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I did audition for License to Drive. I walked into the office, and I held up the script and I threw it in the trash right in front of the producers. And I said, how dare you write a script with the blowjob scene? They drink and drive. They steal. They do Grand Theft Auto. They steal a Cadillac. And the reading didn't go well. I memorized my lines. I didn't need the script, but the reading didn't go well. However, I watched the movie when it came out, and they cut out the blowjob scene, the drinking and driving scene, and the Grand Theft Auto scene. And I was like, all right, I helped them make the movie better.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, I don't remember that in that movie. So,
and I've got to talk to Roller Girl someday, Heather, and see if
Heather Graham.
what happened, if she was a part of that, taking that stuff out. I know that she has both issues with doing it or not doing it. There's reasons why she does nudity. There's reasons why there's times where she doesn't want to. I'd read a great article about like her family, this kind of conflict going on there. And that's fascinating. I mean, as an artist, nothing better than having a support team and a family, a wife, a dog. Shit, my dog even helps with auditions.
Yeah.
Really wanted to talk to you as well. One of our favorite movies of all time is Toy Soldiers.
So good. So good. I was like, when are we getting to Toy Soldiers? Let's go
We gotta talk about Toy Soldiers.
Talk about it. There's so much to talk about. We gotta talk about Toy Soldiers.
Also, may he rest in peace. We lost Louis Gossett Jr. in March.
Yeah.
But what was it like working?
Top Gun, a poor man's Iron Eagle.
We will say just a few words for those that we have lost from Toy Soldiers. Sean Phelan, Arlie Ermey, Michael Chapman, and now Louis Gossett Jr. We've lost 4 major cast members from Toy Soldiers.
All right, well, just cheers to those people.
Yeah. Oh, my God, absolutely.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
What was it like working with Louis Gossett Jr.? Like, the guy's a legend.
Yeah.
Such money. He's so warm. Such a consummate pro. And this is not an insult. He's a paycheck actor. That's what he does for a living.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's Iron Eagle 3 or Officer and a Gentleman or Toy fucking Soldiers. He's going to bring the same level of work.
Yeah.
He knows what kind of movie it is. Jerry Orbach didn't. Jerry Orbach did not understand that there was a comedy camp element, kind of a subversion of the mafia trope. And he goes, I look ridiculous. And they're like, the characters, everything's ridiculous about the storyline.
Yeah.
And he took his name off the credits. If you notice, Jerry Orbach is uncredited.
Really?
I didn't know that. Really? Wow.
I didn't know that.
Really? Oh.
I remember Jerry Orbach in the movie. I didn't
think it was that campy. Oh, maybe a little bit.
I just think it's pure awesome.
Yeah. How
does a kid have an accident and gets himself killed with a machine gun? I love it. I had a real execution in Charlottesville when we were shooting it at the prison, at the men's prison they were filming at. So they filmed all the prison sequences in real prison. So we're in town. I'm in the hotel, okay? And there's an execution slated. It's electric chair. And the hotel lights in the Days Inn off the highway across to the Kmart Kroger's dimmed. When they killed the guy, it was like the whole town went a little darker.
Wow.
I was like, oh, that guy's dead.
That's gonna f you up.
So there were nights crossing the hotel, half drunk, trying to get to Kmart and Kroger's before they closed so we could buy guitars, Legos, whatever the hell we wanted to spend our per diem on. Me and Sean and Will and George and T.E. and we're just, maniacs. And yogurt tagging along. And we drop our hotel keys in the middle of the it's a highway. And have to backtrack and get the keys and then come back with all of our loot. Good times. We do want to apologize to the entire staff of Days Inn. Thank you. Putting up with us.
Yeah. They remember you, daily.
They remember.
Last day in the hotel, and Will Wheaton goes, come, let's prank the hotel. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, we ordered a trundle bed, and we took it out to the elevator, and we put it in the elevator and then opened it up. So when you open the elevator, it's just a bed. Then he goes, let's go down to the pool. We go down to the pool and he goes, what's all this around the pool? And I go, pool furniture. He goes, where does pool furniture belong? And I went, in the pool. So we threw all the pool furniture and chaise lounges and shit in the pool. God, I feel bad. Then I felt betrayed because pretty recently I read an article and Will Wheaton says he did that prank on Stand By Me. What? You're just running up the same prank with me. I don't feel special anymore, Will.
Come on, Will.
Step it up, buddy. Come on.
One thing that this cool little coincidence sort of stuff about Hollywood was Sean Astin's in the movie. You and Sean's stepdad is John Astin.
Yes.
Who is Gomez Adams on the Addams Family, and your grandpa was Uncle Fester on the same show, and here are, another generation kind of working together. I thought, did you guys ever talk about that, or that
we
even
knew each other and spent time with each other our whole lives? We basically grew up together. Sean went to Crossroads. I went to public school. I went to Samo High. But he lived in Westwood, and anytime I was in there seeing movies, just go over to Sean and Mac's house. We'd shoot, movies. We'd shoot short films and stunts and go crazy with, cars and video camera, like running on roofs and chases and stuff. And we're getting ready to go out and go shoot with Mac. And Patty Duke comes out and she goes, "What are you guys doing?" And we're going to go, "Well, Mac, we're going to send him out the window. He's going to roll off and hit the thing. And then the car's going to hit him. And he's going to go flying." And she goes, "Okay, just wear your seatbelt." And she leaves the room. So we had a lot of fun. We popped the tire, oh my God, on my friend's Cadillac. Because we were just, peeling out in the alley and having fun with that. And sorry, Jeff. My God, we were bad kids. So weirdly, during the Toy Soldiers casting process, they cast me first and Lou Gossett. So we were the first to sign on the movie, and Lou couldn't do the. I got on an hour phone call with Dan Petrie Jr. and we talked about Tom Clancy books, Hunt for Red October and Red Storm Rising. We'd read them both. And not everyone had read Red Storm Rising. So we were talking about Kalashnikovs and Apaches and Blackhawks and, all the weaponry and the Clancy novels and spycraft and stuff. We just really got along. And so he cast me. And I'm a nerd. I don't have to work out or look good. I'm allergic to grass. So Snuffy was nice. Snuffy was cool. And I'm the funny guy, everyone else can be cool and be hard ass and shit. And I just, as a matter of fact, when they turn around, I always made this chicken shit choice for Snuffy. There's a moment where they turn around on a gun on us. We're kind of fighting with Sean because they'd killed Will, right? So they kill Will on the steps and Sean goes after them. When we hold them back and they're fighting and they point the guns at us. And I just immediately shoot my arms up in the back of the shot. The other guy like, "Don't do anything." And I'm like, "I give up. Don't shoot me." My God, he's such a chicken shit. That was really fun. So here I am. I'm cast. And Lou is not available to do the final reads for the guys. He's going to read across all the Billy Teppers in town. And while we're auditioning, by the way, the first rounds, every guy in town wanted on this goddamn Taps ripoff. Oh my God. We're like, this is, Die Hard, but in a prep school. It's perfect. We were, oh my God, it's a hard R. It was the last of the early 90s hard R movies. Mm-hmm. So everyone wanted, there was one round of auditions. We wound up across the street from Warner Brothers at a Copper Penny, which is like a Denny's or something like that. We're all out in the patio. Everyone's smoking their cigarettes and everybody smoked in the 90s, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
I did.
Yeah.
We're like, won't this be cool? Oh, yeah. And this rockets and stuff and headshots. And we're just talking about the script and how fun it would be to do it. And so Dan Petrie Jr. asked me to read as the scene partner for all of the Billy Tepper auditions and Hank Giles and Joey Trotta. It was amazing. So I got to see all these kids in town come in while I sat on this side of the casting table. Now, I'd never done that before. And what I saw horrified me. As soon as the actor leaves the room, they just throw their picture and resume in the trash. What? They're like, no, not even, they won't even discuss it. And I'm like, wow, I really shouldn't be seeing this. This is hurting me. Me. So anyway, I'm reading, and some guys come in and they got deodorant chunks hanging off of their armpit hair in their wife beaters, and we're like, oh, that's embarrassing. And some are flop sweating, and one of them is literally Albert Brooks from Broadcast News.
Oh no,
flop sweat everywhere. If you get that reference, I like you guys.
Broadcast News, come on, yeah, come on.
Okay, here's another Albert Brooks reference.
Yeah,
we're up, we're down, we're still down. Or another one from the same movie. All right, how about you give us the money back? It'll be great. It'll be great for Vegas. I can see billboards. Vegas, the family-friendly town. What's that from?
Oh, crap.
Is that's not Midnight Run?
No, he's not in. He's not in Midnight
Oh, that's
Run.
Charles Grodin.
That's Charles Grodin.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that from? I totally know that.
Lost in America.
Lost in America.
Trying to
Okay.
convince Gary
Okay.
Marshall.
Okay.
He's like, give us the money
Okay.
back. Gary Marshall's like, no, we don't do that. We're not giving you the money back.
And it's rare that we don't get movie trivia.
Yeah,
No, but I'm really glad you got
it.
the
You
first
got it,
Albert Brooks. Did you see the Albert Brooks documentary about his comedy and his career and stuff like that? He's kind of an anti-comedy guy. I always like that shit. He did a spoof on reality shows. And it's a movie where the family has to wear this head thingy that films everything. And he's way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
But what goddamn
I think Albert Brooks is
we
like
talking
the
about?
king of, to me, he's like the king of sarcasm. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like he's the king of sarcasm. Like he invented sarcasm.
Is he in Grand Canyon? Is he a friend of Steve Martin's in Grand?
He is in Grand Canyon. Yeah,
he's good in that.
Mother,
yeah.
You remember Mother? He was hilarious in Mother. Oh my god.
I haven't watched Mother, and I feel bad
Mother?
about it.
Oh my god, you should watch it. It's hilarious.
Fun fact: his real last name is Einstein.
Yeah,
is Albert.
His
Einstein.
brother is Bob Einstein.
Bob,
of course.
Einstein.
Dave Einstein, Super Dave Osborne.
Dave.
He is Albert Einstein.
Yeah,
that's a true story.
Albert.
Yeah,
Brooks'
he's Albert Einstein.
Real last name is Einstein. He can't go by Albert Einstein, so he goes by Albert Brooks, and his brother is Super Dave Osborne.
Shut up! Are you serious?
Yeah, Funkhauser.
I didn't know that.
And Super Dave Osborne was also anti-comedy. He was like Andy Kaufman. You couldn't tell where the character and where the line was drawn there.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That takes me back to Bizarre. I don't know if you ever saw
Bizarre.
the variety show
like,
Bizarre.
The Boob Tube. What was the television? There were a lot of like the Kentucky Fried Movie, stuff like that. SNL, Animal House. National Lampoon movies and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Smokey and the Bear.
Smokey and the Bear. Smokey and the Bear.
An animal or a car.
Nice.
How about Riptide?
Take her out, Burt Reynolds. Yeah.
Oh yeah, give it up. Give it up.
So I did hear they are going to do a remake of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. What do you think about that idea?
I'm in it. It's
You're
out.
in it?
It was out in theaters for 2 weeks in 1,000 theaters, and it's been on BET Plus for a month. Go to BET Plus. There's a 7-day free trial and watch the remake of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. There are 3 original cast cameos. We shot it at the original house. The script is by Chuck Hayward. He wrote WandaVision, Dear White People, and the last season of Ted Lasso. It's a great script. It's a better movie than our movie. It's a better movie than our movie. Ours was.
Now I have to watch it.
Oh, we wonder what you thought about it. Like, it's like
you'll love it. It honors
it?
the original. Like you cannot even, but it does its own thing. It's great. Yeah, I love it.
Right.
And I shot it behind the scenes. I shot the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So go to our YouTube channel, Keith and Pinky's Hollywood Tales, and you will see behind the scenes. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I spent 5 days throughout production going in, and they really let me close. I mean, it's not a long shot away from the set. I'm in there, and a lot of it is a long shot away from the set. But it's really proud of it. Pinky produced it. I directed it, shot it, cut it. My little brother did the drone footage. It's a nice. It's 7 minutes. It's a really nice piece. And we have interviews with Michael Phillips, who produced the original Don't Tell Mom. He also produced movies like Taxi Driver, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
All right.
So
that's good stuff.
Yes, they knew what they were doing, and a great director, Wade Elaine Marcus. He was in Insecure, directed French Dirty. He considers it a remix, not a remake, and that's a new term because I was in Reboot, and Kevin Smith covered sequels, remakes, reboots, and what's the difference between all of them.
Yeah.
But Wade Elaine goes, remix. We took all the things we had to nail. We got to do dishes. We got to do I'm Right on Top of That. We got to do this, but then. What order in? Can you remove characters? Like, there's only 4 kids in the new movie because there's only 4 kids left in real life. We lost Christopher Pettit.
Yeah.
And so they merged Zach and Walter into one character.
Oh, that's nice.
But also gave traits to Melissa, and it's fantastic. It's It's updated, but it even references at one point they're ditching the body and they're like, why don't we just put a note on her and put her in the mortuary? And they go, there's cameras everywhere. What is this? What is this? 1991?
91.
Nice.
I actually
the kids are even watching
her,
TV, and Simone Joy Jones, who plays Tanya, but her name is Sue Ellen. She comes in and they pause the TV, and then they show a shot, and it's Joanna Cassidy at the podium. They're watching Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Oh, that's awesome.
Meta.
That's awesome.
Meta.
Yeah.
If you guys like meta, it's so meta.
I loved your, you just mentioned it, the cameo as yourself in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I thought that was hilarious.
No, I am in the credits. It doesn't say Keith Coogan as himself. It says Keith Coogan as Keith Coogan.
Yeah.
And there's a distinction. Right?
Yeah.
And that was super fun to do. And I thank you, Kevin, for saying yes.
That was awesome.
We stalked him. We went behind Comedy Store, and it was the week of the Weinstein scandal.
Oh, really?
And a lot of Kevin's early movies were for Harvey.
Yeah.
Kevin wasn't having a great week. He was worried about security, and we're going back. And I'd signed some dishes, and dishes are dear Kevin, dishes are done, man, Keith, and some dish towels for Ralph. And so we're sneaking in the back, and security comes up on, what are you guys doing here? And we're like, oh, we just want to say hi to Kevin. Who are you? And we're like, Keith Coogan. And just want to, give him a gift. They go back. The security comes back. Kevin will see you now. So we come up. He's just getting out. As a matter of fact, he saw us in the back alley driving by slow, and he kept going and circled the block again. We're like, we're scaring him off. So we get up there and we say hi. I give him the gift, and he's stoked. He loved it. And then I say, hey, we noticed you're doing Reboot, and wanted to know if possible, maybe, I don't know, if I could be in. He's like, yes, yes. You're in. And I was like, well, I'm an actor, dude. Unless you don't have the job until your second paycheck clears. You could be. They replaced John Boy on his own show on the Waltons. They took Harper's family, Valerie, away from her and called it Hogan's Family. Roseanne. It's called The Connors now. So don't mess with the big wigs upstairs. You get that tongue ready and shine their boots, man, because they're the ones writing the checks and paying the crew and making the deal with the networks. There is no career without mainstream media. Now, you think of things like Louis C.K. selling his album for $5. Go on my site. I got my latest content. It's $5 MP3. He never would have been able to do that 14 years ago.
Yeah.
If he didn't have mainstream media give him the platform and the exposure to the audience first. And now kids are coming in backwards. Kids are being influencers, and they're selling shampoos and things, and companies are getting them because they're $160,000 reach. And I just hope the kids know that they are now the place of network television. They're now broadcasters, and they have to show ads and to get the money. And I just hope they're being really savvy about that.
You've had nothing but great things to say about everybody you worked with so far, and that's amazing. Is there anyone that stands out to you that you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I worked with this person and they're great, or like I love everybody? Like it's like you seem like you get along with everybody. You seem like that guy that everybody wants to have a beer with,
I appreciate that. And
I want to have a beer with you.
I like really like stinky, cheesy IPAs. That's what I like.
So like we got tons of those.
We can get we
got tons of breweries up here.
This is a Whiffle Squirrel. Sounds great to me. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
I brewed this back in the tub. Perfect.
Yeah.
What's this alcohol content? 19.3% alcohol. That sounds like a good beer.
That's Canadian.
Yeah, it's 21% is a chocolate raspberry IPA. Oh, I'm in. Let's do it. It sounds amazing. Yeah.
I'm Irish. I'm already started at -2 drinks.
Yeah.
I need 2 drinks to be normal like everybody else.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Now, lastly, too, we know you've been doing a lot of conventions with Pinky, and do you guys tell us about some cons you have coming up? What's the con experience like? And
it's great. Not everybody gets to go to cons either. Not everybody can make it out to the cons, but for those that do, I mean, you're celebrating all pop culture, anime, video games, TV, movies. Sometimes they're themed like an 80s con or animated. I'll do a lot of stuff for Fox and the Hound, which that carries through to generations. Disney's great about re-releasing films and just making sure. And there's not much problems in the Fox and the Hound. There's no cringe because the movie was tackling cringe. Dude, a movie about racism starring a fox and a hound.
Yeah.
And I knew at 8 years old. I go, I know what this movie's about. I see what's going on in the news. So that's the thing. At the con, you never know. Someone could walk up and go, dude, you were on Knight Rider or Little House. You were, they'll come up. You think, I saw this grandmother and I'm like, oh, do you like, Adventures of Babe? She goes, no, dishes are done, man. And so you never know what fan.
You never know.
No. And it's fun because I do a photo op where we remove the kids from the Babysitter poster. Huge backdrop, turned on its side. So like Batman, the TV show, you pretend you're climbing up the building, then you turn the picture sideways, and it recreates the poster with Brad in the poster.
It is our goal to get you to come out to Niagara Falls Comic-Con that we are at each year.
Oh, yeah.
And so
we heard about Niagara.
We got to talk to the organizers or something because we need Keith Coogan.
You got to come out. You got to come out.
At Niagara Falls.
We'll be in New Jersey Horror Con and Film Festival August 9th, 10th, 11th. And we're lining up a couple of shows now. We'd love to come up there. My God. And we love East Coast. It's crazy. June. You guys are great fans.
It's always in June. It'd be fun, man. You would kill it. I mean, we have so much fun.
It's good times.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because of our fan base, too, we do a lot involved with pop culture figures, Funko Pops. We would be remiss if we didn't ask you to end the show. Does Keith Coogan own any Funko Pops?
I have 3 of my grandfather alone because Walmart did one. There was a variant. There's one with a light bulb.
Yeah, light bulb in the mouth. Yeah.
I'm just looking at Dwight from Office Space. What's that one over there? We've got him in the bathroom. We don't have a place to really store them, but we've got 40 or 50 Pup Vinyls. Yeah, why?
Nice. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Of course I got Pup Vinyls. They're the best.
Our fans are going to love that.
Yeah.
They're great to look at. We got a lot of Disney characters and Pac-Man stuff. And we love Pup Vinyls.
Pop culture.
Yeah. You're a pop culture dude. We knew you did. We knew it. Yeah.
I really want a Pup Vinyl. How cute would Brad, Sarah, Daryl, and Chris Parker look? And Sarah in her little helmet, Thor helmet with the cape. Oh my God! And Brad in his little
we talked about that.
We talked about that.
Did Brad Anderson letter in?
Yeah.
No, I have an honest question. He's wearing a Letterman jacket.
He's wearing a Letterman jacket. Yeah, that's right.
And me and Penelope Miller went, it's band. He's in marching band. And they were in band together. That's how he knows Brenda. She's wearing a band jacket. So, I don't know. What the hell? Why does Brad have a Letterman jacket?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Also, fun fact, Brenda, Penelope Ann Miller, you two have the same birthday. I knew that. I don't know why
you are correct.
But I knew that.
As well as Patrick Dempsey, Orlando Bloom, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Rip Taylor. There's a good, weird group on January 13th.
There you go. Nice.
We can circle back to Patrick Dempsey. Go back to the Outbreak Monkey.
There you go.
You know. So there you go. Circle back to the
Outbreak Monkey, man.
There you go.
Reminds me of Link. Did you ever see Link?
I remember
Elizabeth Shue's second film. She did it between Karate Kid and Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, wow.
She is a primate researcher who develops a very close bond with her chimpanzee. There is a scene where she lifts her shirt and the chimpanzee touched her boob. And me and Anthony Rapp are messing with her.
That's the 80s.
We're early in production, and me and Anthony Rapp turn to Elizabeth Shue and we go, we've seen Link. And she goes, that was a body double.
That wasn't me.
Right. She was so prepared with that one.
Yeah. You're like,
Sure it was.
And at that time, monkey stuff was big. Monkey Shines, Outbreak, you know.
Project X.
Project X.
With Matthew Broderick. That was another monkey movie.
Yeah.
Another monkey
the
movie.
one where he was a pilot monkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
were big on monkeys.
A lot of monkeys.
Yeah.
I grew up, one of my best friends, his dad wrote Every Which Way But Loose.
Oh, I was going to say,
Every Which Way You
that.
Can.
Yeah.
And he directed Going Ape, the godfather of chimpanzee movies. No, I'm sorry. It's been dubbed the Citizen Kane. It's starring Tony Danza.
The Citizen Kane of ape movies. It's the ape Casablanca.
Listen to this. There was a production. Have you seen Monkey Trouble?
Yeah.
So the footage involved in Monkey Trouble, there was a movie that had shot the animal footage. And low budget productions, just like the helicopters in Canon films, the car on the train tracks, they're just reusing like TV. Fall Guy, the opening credits of Fall Guy uses all these great shots from classic films. So, that was a redo. What the hell was I talking about?
Monkeys.
Talking about monkeys.
Monkey Trouble.
Monkey Trouble.
Monkey Trouble. So there are a few movies that came out in the 90s, late 90s, and they have the same scene of a monkey going into a general store, climbing up the shelves, throwing stuff off. And I've seen it in like 3 movies. And and I think some of that footage is in Monkey Trouble too. But there's a big scandal about this reuse of this monkey footage because it's hard to shoot with animals. Now, I was in a great animal movie, Python, co-starring Will Wheaton, Billy Zabka, Jenny McCarthy, Dana Barron, and
you remember Dana Barron?
Oh, and Casper Van Dien and Robert Englund. And it was a fantastic 130 feet of terror, armored plate, thing, can move like 60 miles an hour, and has acid for venom.
Yeah.
Pythons don't have fangs or venom, but let's not talk about that. It's completely weird. Like it's a military engineered thing. It crashes, and it's a good bad movie, and it has sequels, Pythons and Boa versus Python. It's a whole universe. Got to see it.
The trilogy.
It's a whole universe.
Nice.
It's a whole universe.
We gotta thank you so much for doing this and being a guest on Fan Out with
This has been awesome.
Fish.
This has been amazing.
We've been fanning out, just chatting with you about movies, and really appreciate you being a guest on the show.
Oh, well, I appreciate you guys. I'm about to pop in my fresh copy of Buckaroo Banzai across the
There you go. Nice. Yeah, we don't want to take up any more time, but we really, we really appreciate it.
I thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. Have a great night. And dishes are done, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much,
Coogan.
Yeah.
Thanks,
until next time, I'm Fish.
J-Dog.
We'll see you again soon.